Well, a lot of people out there think that just because we're in the minority that somehow we're not going to continue this investigation. So we're going to work with the Judiciary Committee and the Oversight Committee, Sean, to ensure that this investigation into FISA abuse and other matters continues. The good thing is that we got through about 15 interviews last year. The task force did. You've covered it extensively on your show. We're going to continue to call people in for interviews. Just last week, the new chairman of the committee said that he's going to reopen the Russia investigation. We offered about a dozen subpoenas of people that we wanted to subpoena. We don't expect for them to subpoena the people that we want, but at every attempt that we can, at every opportunity that we get, we will make attempts to subpoena these people to come in and speak. We will also ask for people to voluntarily come in and speak. Look, we need the new Attorney General to get in there, and then we will be making criminal referrals on many people who lied to Congress and did other bad things.
Well, I mean, does that mean we could be expecting pre-dawn raids with amphibious vehicles, frogmen, SWAT teams of 27, all of this to arrest one guy on a process crime? Is that going to happen to Democrats? In other words, aren't there a list of well-known people that served the Obama administration that lied under oath?
Well, I'm not asking anyone to be Roger Stoned, which I think is now a verb now.
Yeah.
But I am expecting people to be held accountable. So if you're going to bust people for lying to Congress, then we need to bust everyone for lying to Congress. And look, we're just the House side. My guess is on the Senate side, there's many people that some of the same people that probably lied over there, so they should also be doing the same.
Well, we saw, but thought a very big announcement by Richard Burr. We don't have anything that would suggest there was any collusion by the Trump campaign and the Russians. So after all this time, all this money, and all this, I guess, speculation and hyperventilating reporting, nothing is there. You've seen everything. Have you seen any evidence whatsoever?
Well, and Sean, it's not just that. I mean, there hasn't been collusion. As you know, the Trump campaign was so small, it would have been almost impossible for them to collude anyway, even if they wanted to collude. But what is frustrating, I think, and we brought this up last week, when Adam Schiff reopened his investigation into the Trump campaign, we said, great, are you going to open up the investigation into the Hillary Clinton campaign? Because there we already know that the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic Party were colluding with Russians. They were getting information from Russians, dirt on Trump, that they could then spread throughout the media. That's exactly what they were looking at the Trump campaign supposedly for.
What about FISA abuse? We now know that Bruce Orr warned everybody at the DOJ and the FBI, and by the way, including Andrew Weissman, Mueller's pit bull, that it was put together by a Trump hater named Christopher Steele, eventually fired for lying and leaking, and Hillary paid for it, and it's unverified and uncorroborated. Not corroborated. So the question is, it was used 4 times and signed off. What about all those people that signed off on a document that they never verified?
All of them should be held accountable. So we're attempting to hold them accountable in Congress. Well, probably the right thing that should happen would be the judges to hold them accountable. But in the meantime, the new Attorney General, when he gets in there, he should immediately call for some type of review of all of this. And we're going to present him the information that we have. And I think at that point, hopefully something will happen.
With criminal referrals.
It goes back to, either criminal referrals or, if the judges hold them accountable, they can lose their law license. But really, if there's not reforms done to the FISA process, if accountability is not delivered in this matter, I think it's going to be very hard for Americans don't want to be less secure, right? Republicans have supported these programs for many, many years. However, I doubt right now that you'd find very many votes to support the continuation of FISA programs if it's going to be political. And there's got to be some guarantees that this process is not going to be political in the future, and that.
Well, John Solomon reported that then FBI Director Mueller had to go before the FISA court and answer for 75 particular cases where exculpatory information was withheld to obtain the FISA. Remember, Deputy FBI Director McCabe said, no dossier, no FISA. But they used the unverified dossier, signed off on it as if it was gospel. They never verified it.
And don't forget, what we've been saying publicly now for many, many months. It's not just that they used the dossier. It's not just that the dossier made up most of the FISA. It's also everything else that they did. So it's how they lied, it's how they obstructed our investigation, and then it's how they, if you remember, people forget about this. People went out and said, well, the dossier didn't have anything to do with it. There was all this other stuff. We went out and looked at all that other stuff, and that's what we've been asking the president to declassify, because we believe that that makes up that so-called other stuff is also equally as bad as using political dirt.
I predict at one point he will. Congressman, great work. Thank you for updating us and being with us. Devin Nunes, thank you.